Yes, I would like to thank everybody who's out there who has been watching my webcams or who likes to see one. This is going to be my review of not only Season 4 premiere of The Sons of Anarchy last night, but a quick little review on the other 3 seasons out there. Couple of things really quick here while I'm doing the review for the first 3 seasons. For the past few months, I've been telling a lot of people about this show. And a lot of people, their response has been, well, every time I see anything about it, I just see people riding around on motorcycles. The motorcycles really are not the main characters by any stretch of the imagination. I would almost say motorcycles, they wouldn't even need in this show. And also, I've been seeing, like I said, a lot of emails, texts, Twitter messages from people saying I really and truly have resemblance to Opie, which I really like, since Opie is my favorite character on the show, followed by, strangely enough, Clay Morrow. Now, here we are, according to my watch, on September 7th at 10 to 7 in the year 2011. The hairdo and the look I'm sporting, I'm going to call it the Opie. Now, before I do my review of Season 4 on The Sons, excuse me, I'm actually going to start doing like a quick review on the other 3 seasons. Gee, I wonder where I should start. How about Season 1? Duh. Since that's the season right there, which is really more important than the other 2 seasons, because Season 1, like any other show, they establish the characters. Now, Season 1, you learn that the father of Sam Crow, which stands for the Sons of Anarchy Motorcycle Club Redwood Originals. That's what the creator of the show, Kurt Sutter, has named them. And that's what it is. I see a lot of people out there saying this is what it stands for. No, you can go to the actual Sons of Anarchy website. It clearly says this is what it stands for. Alright, like I said, Season 1, we find that the father, the founder of Sam Crow, is John Teller, who had a wife, Gemma Teller. They had 2 kids. His oldest kid was died due to a heart problem, and a younger son, Jax Teller. Now, the key thing to remember about the Sons of Anarchy, even though it deals in the world of motorcycles, the whole MC lifestyle, as anybody who's seen it, who has followed it, knows the Sons have a Macbeth feel to it. Me, I was never all that big on Shakespeare growing up, still really not, but yeah, I knew who Macbeth was and the story behind it. Which is very strange, because you've only seen John Teller twice in the history of the show. First time you see him was Season 2, you see a picture of him. In Season 3, when they're in Ireland, and they had the big explosion, Jack opens his eyes after hitting his head. He sees a vision of his dad asking if he was okay. Well, Season 1 in the first episode, and by the way, I'm not going to go episode to episode, because I don't want to give away too much for the people who haven't seen this show yet. Now, Season 1, they tell people, Jackson and his mom was at the kitchen table in her house, and she told, your dad, John Teller, was riding his motorcycle and got hit by a truck, who I think they said he was dragged 5 miles. I don't know if that's right. Could be wrong, could be less, could be more. Who then lived 2 days afterwards and was killed due to his injuries. Now, Season 1, they only do 13 episodes a year. I really wish that they can get closer to the 20, but I understand that they budget the show for 13 episodes. That's it. You look at any shows on FX, Justified. I think The Shield was even doing 13 episodes a year. They only budget 13 episodes a year on a very shoestring budget at that. So anyway, back to my review here of Season 1. And like I said, the first episode, it goes through, it tells the story. And the thing is about it, a lot of people who I've been talking to who've been watching the show is under the impression, well, that's what happened to John Teller. He was hit by a truck while riding his motorcycle, and that's what killed him. Yet, like I also said, this show has a Macbeth feel to it. Season 1, the end of the episode, which kind of ties into Season 2, is the death of who originally was supposed to have been Opie. Now, that's not me giving away the spoiler. They even said originally, season 1, they was going to kill Opie instead of Opie's wife, Donna. That was something that actually is an Easter egg on here, believe it or not. They actually talk about that. I mean, it's on here too, but they go a little bit more detail about, why she died and blah, 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 and all this other stuff. That's pretty much season 1. Season 1, they do like a lot of shows they did in the past. They go from episode to episode to episode. But by episode 9 particularly is when they start doing a lot of ties in, which obviously is going to tie in with season 2. Now, season 2, the death of Donna actually left some people with the thought it was going to be the A story of the season. In the sense, it actually became the B story. Now, the A story of it, could only air on a station like FX. Any local channel like an NBC affiliate, CBS, ABC, even Fox, which owns FX, probably would not have gotten away with the very first episode of season 2. Now, season 2, they actually chronicle the whole entire, white-only nation with the Aryans, who goes out there and tries to run Sam Crow out of business. You got Clay Morrow, who utters the first line, "No one threatens Sam Crow or tells Sam Crow what to do." Season 2 is packed full of a lot of action. One of the things I've always enjoyed, the music of Henry Rollins, and particularly that of Black Flag. He's actually in this episode. The man's a very intelligent human being, but the fact that the way he is built, in every movie or any show he's always in, he always plays some type of dumb jock or the thug. He's a very intelligent person in the show. Now, season 2 is the whole entire friction throughout the whole entire season of Jax and Clay. Now, Opie says, right now I'm just going to maybe talk about the B story, the A story you have to follow on. I don't really feel going to the need to it. He's completely unaware that the bullet that killed his wife was meant for him, even though it was ruled an accident. Well, naturally, Jax figures it out, and him and Clay throughout the whole entire season are going back and forth and back on one another until the very last episode, and until the second to last episode, in which they decided that, hey, we got to get Ethan Zobel. Ethan Zobel was like season 2. He was the big villain of season 2. Really, it was okay watching the whole character. My big gripe with season 2 was this, and they have said people like Zobel, they just normally walk away unscathed. It would have been nice if maybe season 2, if he would have actually gotten killed. That would have been nice. But season 2 gave us the tie-in to season 3. Now, season 3, the biggest knock on season 3 I have read so far from people, they spent too long in Ireland. Now, the reason they spent so much time in Ireland, as a little spoiler for people who don't want to hear this, might want to plug their ears a little bit. In season 2, Jax's young son gets kidnapped by the Irishman who was selling them guns, which in return the son would distribute to other people. Well, that was the main story, followed by the B story of Gemma Teller actually on the run for murder. Season 2, you learn why. Like I said, I'm not going to give away the whole entire spoilers. I'm just doing like a quick synopsis of the whole entire season. It's really great. One of the best things about season 3 had to be the season finale. Season finale was easily one of the best well-written TV shows, episodes you will ever see in your life. Everything about that episode was just sheer genius. Now, me personally, I didn't mind the fact that they spent time in Ireland. Yet, looking back, they probably could have cut it down and consolidated certain things to maybe 1-2 episodes less than what they did. But obviously, I was able to see where they wanted to go. And a lot of people were too. They just felt they spent too much time in Ireland. Well, last night was season 4 premiere of the Sons of Anarchy. I mean, it felt like I waited forever for season 4 to come. And I had high expectations for this season premiere. And without a doubt, the 90-minute season premiere was unbelievable. They really are going to be covering a lot of stuff. It seems to me that Mr. Soder has been watching a lot of, motorcycle documentaries out there. And my guess he did, because apparently he has took a lot of time to research it. It seems this year one of the key things is going to be, is the Brotherhood completely shattered? Have they just become greed? How are they going to handle this new sheriff? And all of this other stuff out there, which is really great. It looks like it is going to be a great season, and we are going to learn more, hopefully, about what exactly happened to John Teller. Me, if I was writing this show, I would be like this. I would reveal two things. One, I think most people who watch the show are going to realize or have realized that Clay Morrow was the guy responsible for killing John Teller. But something tells me he had a reason to. And a lot of things were pointed at in season 3, which also changed Jax's perception of who his dad was. Because there was a few little lines in there about Clay that, we can't go back and undo the past that John did. Something tells me Clay, and maybe even Ponty, Opie's dad, might have had something to do with it. But I believe there was a reason why John Teller had to die. More than likely, he was probably hit by a truck, but Sam Crow had to have something to do with it. And I believe also, when that comes out to the forefront, I'm going to make this big one. A few people out there have always questioned it. I believe when it's all said and done, Jax is going to learn another thing that they've hid from him. Which, you can also say they've hid a lot of things from Jack. Gemma, his mom, more than likely, she knew exactly why John got killed. Clay, obviously, I think from a lot of people's perspective, knew why he got killed. But I think it's going to get revealed that Jax is, in fact, not Clay's stepson, but his biological son. That may be pushing it just a little far-fetched, but that would give it an interesting spin on it whatsoever. And I'm going to end it on that note. So for the people who has watched the webcam, hey, feel free to drop in some reviews. I'm still kind of new at this. I had a lot of original ideas I was going to do, but I feel like I'm pressed for time. Because really, you can spend 2-3 hours going through each of these things and breaking them down. So I just thought, I'll just give like a quick little synopsis. Next Tuesday, looks like it's going to be a great episode. I should hopefully have a webcam up by then. I'm getting better at it, so cut me some slack. Until then, you are looking at the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, sweeter than a German chocolate cake. I eat T-bone steaks by the pound. And the man of the hour, who has clearly said, I have wined and dined with kings and queens, slept in alleys and dined on pork and beans. The pork and beans was really hard, a lot of gas. Until then, you know it, Southern discomfort. Until we meet again.